The more success SpaceX accomplishes, the angrier Russia gets. And this reaction of Russia has been giving us all flashbacks to the space race between the US and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. But the important issue is why one of the world's most technically advanced nations is having problems with a private space program. Well, we'll be answering that question in this video, so watch till the end to know the reason. You might not have an idea as to what SpaceX is actually, but if you keep up even a little bit with the world news, then you must have heard of the name Elon Musk. As of now, he's the richest person in the world and the CEO of Tesla. Musk is a huge science nerd and has taken up the job of achieving the impossible when it comes to space research. Therefore, he founded Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, also known as SpaceX, which is his very own private aerospace company. But what about it has got Russia so furious? One of the many reasons is that SpaceX has completely revolutionized space transportation and manufacturing of spacecraft. Their rockets are not only reusable, but also much more feasible than that of the Russian Soyuz rockets. Not to forget that the cost of the tickets per seat on the Soyuz are astronomically high at $90 million. Yep, pun intended. And since NASA's shuttle has retired in the year 2011, all American astronauts were sent to space stations via Russia's Soyuz rockets, which, even for the world's richest space organization, was still very expensive. But SpaceX says that they can accomplish the same endeavor at a ticket price of $55 million per seat, a little over half the price of Russia's tickets. This will prove to be bad for business for the Russian rockets, since not only NASA will cease to rely upon them, but other nations might also use SpaceX. The chief of Roscosmos, which is the Federation of Russia responsible for their aerospace research, Dmitry Rogozin, has criticized this move by SpaceX and accused them of using the scheme of price dumping. Here's an interesting tidbit for you. In price dumping, the seller sells their goods at a price that's much lower than what it ought to be, to sell more than their competitors. But do you know what made the ongoing competition between SpaceX and Roscosmos become more personal? It was a taunt that Elon Musk made on the Russians that made matters worse. In 2014, the chief of Roscosmos had mocked NASA and their dependence on the Russian Federation by saying that without them, the USA might just as well use a trampoline to send their astronauts to ISS, the multinational space station. Most of America and Russia might have forgotten this mockery, but it seems Musk hadn't. You won't believe what he did. In 2020, SpaceX sent 2 American astronauts from American soil to orbit. He made an inside joke at a press conference and said that the trampoline is working. Musk waited 6 years to crack that joke. Roscosmos was livid by this sarcastic statement. Dmitry Rogozin chided both the American private and public space organizations for mocking them so publicly. Also, it seemed that the Russians were quite dismayed and frustrated seeing their rival pass them up in technological advancements, since Rogozin kept reminding everyone of their past glory of sending the first man to space. And as to SpaceX's successful launch, you'll be shocked to know what the Russians had to say on that. They acted as spoilsports, and instead of congratulating SpaceX, completely trashed their historic achievement and said that it was an ordinary feat that should have happened long ago. Apart from this, Rogozin also insists that the Soyuz rockets are far safer and better than any American spacecraft, since the Russians are always obsessed with improving their spacecraft to keep making them more and more perfect. And after a lot of research, we think that the main issue here is that since the arrival and instant success of SpaceX, the Roscosmos has been feeling as if NASA used and then promptly discarded them, now that something newer and cheaper has come to the market. Also, the fact that a private organization founded in the year 2002 has achieved much more fame than their program, which is nearly 3 decades old, is a hard pill to swallow for the Russians. The rivalry between these two reminds us of the Cold War. Even more so since Russia has announced grand schemes to topple down SpaceX and assert their monopoly as the best platform for sending astronauts. They're said to be developing eco-friendly and reusable rocket systems just like their rivals. What do you think? Is Roscosmos doing this for a better environment or out of spite for SpaceX? Let us know in the comments. But despite the fact that whoever wins the space competition, all of us are excited to see what innovations will both of these highly esteemed aerospace organizations bring to the table. Because it doesn't matter which one is better, since Neil Armstrong said, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." With that, our video has come to an end. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to comment with your opinion. Also, to watch more of our videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for instant updates. See you in the next video. Till then.